Memphis, Tennessee. Hey, I'm Todd Newton. Welcome to the Tattooed Traveler. Welcome to Memphis. This is a city known for many things. Elvis, of course, Beale Street, Sun Studios, and so much more. I'm glad you're here because this is going to be a great video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share as we make our way around the great city of Memphis, Tennessee.
Elvis Presley was the king of rock and roll. He was good at what he did, and may God rest his soul. The way he moved and the way he danced. If you ever went up against him, you didn't stand a chance.
Thank you, Preacher Man. And Memphis, Tennessee is all about the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. Friend, I challenge you to go 10 paces in this great city and not be confronted with that handsome face or that jet black pompadour. Elvis is everywhere. He was born on January 8th, 1935, and he and his family, Father Vernon and Mother Gladys, moved to Memphis when he was 13 years old. In 1957, 22-year-old Elvis was already an international star, and he purchased Graceland. The mansion and the grounds cost him $102,000. Today, more than 650,000 Elvis fans visit Graceland every year. In addition to Elvis and his parents, Graceland was occupied by his grandmother, Minnie Mae, his wife Priscilla, and their daughter, Lisa Marie. Speaking of Lisa Marie, Elvis's plane, named after his baby girl, is parked right across the street from Graceland. He purchased this plane to transport himself, his band, his singers, and his buddies, the Memphis Mafia, around for $840,000 in 1976. That equals about $4.5 million today. Visiting Graceland isn't cheap, with tours costing anywhere from $49 to $215. And the spending doesn't end there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, hoodies, dog collars. Man, I'm going to have to take out a second mortgage on my house. But many do it, all in the name of the king. But Memphis is about much more than rock and roll. On April 4th, 1968, at 6:05 p.m., one of the most influential civil rights leaders in American history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., was assassinated right here on this balcony at the Lorraine Motel. A man named James Earl Ray was arrested for the murder and confessed to the crime as part of a plea bargain. However, he soon recanted his confession and maintained his innocence until he died, causing great controversy over the assassination. You can see some incredible names stayed here at the Lorraine. B.B. King, Aretha Franklin, Cab Calloway, Nat King Cole. The motel is now home to the National Civil Rights Museum, and they offer a wonderful tour for just about $18 per person. I highly suggest it. Really moving experience. Now, we've been doing a lot of walking, covering a lot of ground and working up quite an appetite, so I want to take you someplace special for lunch. This is the Arcade Restaurant, the oldest cafe in Memphis, and from what I hear, the locals say this was Elvis's favorite restaurant. In fact, this was his booth. This is where Elvis and the Memphis Mafia would hold court late at night over fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. And the food? I love diner food. You know I threw the arcade a 5-star on Yelp. Well, obviously you're an Elvis fan, so you know all about the historic Sun Records. Man, this is the birthplace of rock and roll. Roy Orbison, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, and of course Elvis. This is where they recorded some of their earliest hits. I'm getting so excited, my finger keeps covering part of the camera. I'm going to take you inside the actual studio where they recorded here in just a moment. But a little background on the place. The label and the studio was founded by Sam Phillips, a record producer, in 1951. And some of the items they have on display here are just incredible. This is the actual WHBQ radio studio where a DJ... a wild guy named Dewey Phillips was the first DJ to ever play one of Elvis's records. He played That's All Right, And he got so much response from it on the request lines, he played it 13 times in 3 hours. Sam Phillips by his famous tape recorder. Here's Elvis's high school diploma, the actual diploma. And here's what I promised you. Friend, I hope you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because where else are you going to get a special inside look at the world-famous Sun Studio? This is the room. Again, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, everybody you know and love from the $1 Million Quartet, they recorded right here in this room. Elvis came in here at the age of 18, wanting to record a record for his mother. Back then, you could do it for $4 as a gift, you know. And Sam Phillips wasn't crazy about Elvis at first. He had to grow on him. Thank goodness he did. If these walls could talk, man, those tiles, the soundproof tiles, are the actual tiles that were hanging here in the studio back in the 50s. And do you see that cigar burn right there? Yeah, that's from Jerry Lee Lewis. Put out his cigar right on the piano. And it's customary here at Sun to touch the doorknob for a little bit of luck. Think of the greats that have walked through that door. All right, time to get a little wild with you. And where better to do that than on Beale Street? Back in the early 1920s, everyone came here. Politicians, hookers, ministers, businessmen, gamblers, bootleggers. They flocked to Beale Street. Why? Because this is where the musicians were, playing them blues loud and proud. Just imagine the sounds of B.B. King, Junior Parker, Memphis Minnie, oozing out of the windows and the doors right out onto Beale Street. This was the epicenter of everything: music, fashion. At 126 Beale was the original Lansky Brothers, the clothier to the king, where Elvis used to get some of his outfits. Before he made it big, he would just stand outside the window on the sidewalk there and gaze at some of these clothes, dreaming of the day that he could afford them. As you'll hear a lot around here, God bless the boys from Memphis, blue suede shoes, and Elvis. Did I tell you this was a great city, or did I tell you, huh? Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on The Tattooed Traveler. If you would, tell everybody you know about this channel. Make sure they subscribe like you have subscribed, and make sure you run over to the website, grab your Tattooed Traveler t-shirts, hoodies. I'll put the link down in the description. From the great city of Memphis, I appreciate you. I'm Todd Newton. We'll see you a little further down the road. Oh, and don't forget to pick up 1 or 2 of these. Didn't I tell you? This guy is everywhere. Thanks again for watching.